Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we have to be down there.
Test it like that.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
We based the project on the work of Brandon Stanton and Humans of New York. He did his photography where he took pictures of people on the streets and asked them questions.
He just got to know a little bit about them, and then he'd take the picture and post a quote on his Facebook page.
I kind of feel like Brandon Stanton is a really good, like masterful storyteller.
And we're doing something called Humans of the Twin Cities, where we go around and we interview people and we just get to know them.
Humans of New York was taking pictures. We took video instead of just taking pictures and writing notes down about what they did.
We went to the Stone Arch Bridge and the Mississippi River on the first day, and then on the second day we went to the global market and just explored around there.
Like, we were just walking around and asking people if we could interview them. And if they said yes, we just asked them what their name is, where they live, what they like about living in Minnesota. And then we'd ask them one other question out of many on a list.
Their favorite food, what they liked to do in their free time, what their favorite subject was in school, and then if they had interesting responses, we'd drill down into those.
Well, the first time it was really challenging, but then once I started getting better and better at doing it, and then my group they made me be the first person to step up to people.
We kind of had to slowly work into it. I know the first day we spent 20 minutes just practicing.
It was kind of nerve-wracking to walk up to strangers and ask them questions, so I didn't really do much of the walking up to people. I asked some of the questions.
On each day we actually talked to a couple of people. It got much more comfortable. The process seemed to be much less awkward for us, and we think that it made it much less awkward for the people there when we were less nervous.
What is your project here?
This is a campaign called Rethink Your Drink. We're out here in Midtown Global Market promoting healthy water as opposed to sugary beverages.
My name is Jay.
Nice to meet you, Jay. And where do you live?
I live in Minneapolis.
Awesome. Nice. It's a cool name. I'm an attorney, and I'm also a city councilor for the city of Richfield.
What's your name?
Lee Wayne.
Where do you live?
I live in St. Paul.
Where do you live?
I live very close to Minnehaha Falls in South Minneapolis.
These are my daughters. Can they participate?
Moved around a little bit.
Moved around, yep. Lived in Rochester for a while. Disaster. Like Minneapolis, it's my home city.
I live in Le Rive, which means the river in French. And it's a 29-story building.
What's your favorite thing about living in Minnesota?
I love that question. Sky's originally from New York, so I know her answer is probably going to be a little different from mine. But my most favorite thing about living in Minnesota is probably the fact that it's really compacted and we have so much diversity, so much rich diversity. So being able to just live here in Minnesota and be able to experience so much different culture in a small vicinity, it really makes me just appreciate Minnesota a lot more.
I really like the wild rice soup.
I came to Minneapolis in 1958 from Canada, and before that I came from Ireland.
What do you like about living in Minneapolis and the Twin
I love the diversity of culture. I love the fact that there's things like the Mississippi River and the Stone Arch Bridge and the Guthrie Theater, all places that I can walk and be entertained and get good food and stuff like that.
My favorite part about Minnesota? Boy, you know, I've lived here all my life, and it's beautiful. And let's see, favorite thing? You know, it's probably the people. Probably my family and friends here.
Why did you decide to leave Ireland?
Because I met this fellow from southwest Minneapolis.
Where did you grow up?
Pretty much in St. Paul. We came from Thailand, and when I was a teenager, but we live in St. Paul, so I pretty much grew up in St. Paul.
He was drafted in the army and was doing a tour of Ireland, England, and Scotland, and we met, and the rest is history.
I am retired, but I spent all my working life in fabric. I worked for an interior decorating store, and then I worked in the uniform department of Northwest Airlines.
What's your occupation?
I'm a business owner.
Did you start the business?
I did not start it. This is a family-owned business that was started in the early 2000s, and I've taken it over since then.
And obviously your occupation is Segway.
Yeah, it is. I actually was working 4 jobs for a while. I did deliveries, food deliveries. I did tutoring, I tutor English, and a ghost tour, and this tour as well.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? Boy, there's a lot of great food here at Midtown Global Market. But my buddies over at Safari Express, they have a camel burger. It's amazing.
You mean talk about food? But we eat pretty much like Asian. We pretty much like eat rice is the main dish, and with some other vegetable.
Something I enjoy eating? Crepes.
Crepes.
I really enjoy crepes.
Those
I
are really
haven't
good.
had one in a long time. I want some crepes. These are interesting questions.
Yeah.
A takeaway would be how kind people will be and like how they'll spend some of their time to be with you.
Well, I think the most unique part of the experience was just the going up to people and talking to complete strangers.
I'm usually a very quiet person and don't really reach out to people that I don't know.
I now have a newfound respect for journalists who have to walk up to random strangers or have to get interviews with city council members all the time.
Don't judge people on how they look or anything.
But it was also kind of nice to just walk up to someone and sort of introduce myself and talk to them and try and get to know them. And it was really nice if they agreed to be interviewed.
Have a whole story that they haven't told you yet, and you're just judging them instead of knowing who they are.
It's good to go up to people sometimes and ask them, how's your day going, instead of just not talking to them and sticking in your comfort zone.
That one woman who had the dog, I wouldn't have known that she was an immigrant from Ireland.
In the global market, we found people from all over the place. Some people from Asia and Africa who had recently moved here and had been here their entire lives. So it was just lots of different people who we wouldn't expect to see elsewhere. So that was the most interesting part about the different people to me.
What they look like isn't who they are. There's more to them on the inside.